Hey everybody, and welcome to my channel. So if you're new here, hello, my name is Julianne and I have been living in Germany for 2 years now. Almost to the day I officially moved to Germany on the 16th of June 2019. And I know in my past videos I've talked about that. I've talked about Germany a bit in my past videos, but I never really said why I'm actually here. And I think it's important for you guys to know that I didn't come to Germany for Germany. For me, the country was kind of just something else that I wasn't really thinking about because I had other reasons for moving. And so today I'm going to share those reasons as well as the things that I have learned to love about Germany in my 2 years being here. So I have 5 things that I really love about living in Germany. Alright, so where do we start? How far back do we go? So I was born and raised in Alberta, Canada, and Alberta is very beautiful. Well, parts of it. I was born on the plains where it's like if you look out, it's just straight. You see forever because it's so flat. But for us it was so nice always because only an hour and a half, 2 hours away were the mountains, and that was always my favorite place to go. So then after I finished high school, I was working for a year full-time, and then after that I went to college because I really wanted to get into the nursing program, because in Alberta, nursing was just such a good job. You got paid a lot, but it was also seen as like a really just a nice job, and so it was like what everybody wanted to do. Like almost all of the girls wanted to go into nursing, and that made it extremely competitive. And so unfortunately, when I was in high school, I didn't put such a focus on academics as much as I should have. I think part of that is because I really did not like my high school, and I do not think it was a good school to go to. But at the same time, like, I didn't really know how to prepare myself. I didn't really know how to study and what ways were good for me to study, so I didn't do so well in high school. And then I wanted to get into this really competitive nursing program. Okay, so listen to this. I do a full year of all of the courses that I would need to take in the nursing program, but just not taking the actual nursing courses. So I took anatomy, microbiology, sociology, psychology, and I just loved it so much. And that's kind of where my love for studying like medicine and the human body came from, is really from these courses. And I did so well. I worked so hard, and I can say that I did really well on these college courses. And then the next year comes and I'm applying to the nursing program again, and they say, oh well, yeah, we see that you did all the college courses, but that's kind of insignificant because we're only looking at your high school marks. So if I wanted to do the nursing program in Alberta, I would have had to completely retake high school, which I didn't want to do, obviously. And so in this time I was extremely frustrated, and I just wanted to like get out and go somewhere. I wanted to travel a bit, and I guess I kind of traveled, but I also just went back to school. What I did was I went to a Bible school in England. It was called Capernwray Hall Bible School. It's an amazing place. You know, you should look into it if you're a younger person. Highly recommend. And it was a very international school, so there were a lot of Canadians, there were a lot of people from America, there were some South Koreans, people from Spain, people from Switzerland, from Germany. There were a lot of people from Germany there. And for me, that was really my first interaction, I guess, with like actual European people. And it was through my time at this Bible school where I met my current husband. And he was German. So both me and my husband are Christians, and we had a really good time at this Bible school. So at the time, like, I don't know, I just started dating him. I didn't really know how it was going to turn out. I didn't think into the future of like, okay, if we continue this relationship and get married, then like someone's gotta move. So then later when we got engaged, I was still so just fed up with the whole academic system in Canada that I said, okay, we'll get married, I'm gonna move with you to Germany, and I'm gonna like test the waters for a few years. You know, if I absolutely hate it here, then we would work our way back into Canada or something. And what's good is that I think there's always going to be an opportunity for us to go back to Canada because I still have my Canadian citizenship, but for the next few years we are in Germany. And now bringing you guys to more current times, I have been in Germany for 2 years now, and I will say, when I first came to Germany, I did not like it. I didn't like it because number one, I was far away from my family. Number two, there was such a language barrier and I lost my independence. And number three, the pandemic started, and so like can't really do so much. I can't really experience Germany that much. So that was then. But I have slowly learned that I actually really love Germany, and I really like living here, like genuinely, not just because of my husband. So I want to share with you 5 things that I have learned in my 2 years of Germany that I really love, going from really not liking it here to kind of loving it. So number 1, the first thing that I love about Germany is the whole academic and Ausbildung system specifically. The Ausbildung system is so great because really lots of things that you would have to go to a university for in Canada, in Germany it's an Ausbildung, and then you're getting paid as if you're working there, because in most places you are actually working at the place. If you do an Ausbildung as a doctor's assistant, then you're just like learning as you go, working in this doctor's office, and so you're getting paid as an employer. And so since we moved to Germany, me and my husband have both been able to live off of our one income of what he learns in his Ausbildung, which is like pretty nice because that means that we don't have debt, which is huge. I sometimes feel so bad for my siblings because they both went through university in Canada, and I know it's very, very expensive. Now, I will say that not all Ausbildungs you will earn a lot of money. Some of them you'll only earn a little bit, some of them you won't earn any money, but those are very rare. From what I know, I think there's only one. You may have to correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, but I think physiotherapy is the only Ausbildung that you actually have to pay for, or depending on which school you are, you just don't have an income. And by the way, physiotherapy is the Ausbildung that I am applying for, and I just had my interview today and I'm very happy about it. So, just that. But because when you start an Ausbildung, you're already like working in a praxis or something, like that's your job, and most of the time you just continue working there, and so the unemployment rate in Germany is very low. But then comparing that to where I came from in Canada, Canada's unemployment rate currently is more so at a low for the annual rates, but it's still 8.2%. So the unemployment rate in Canada is almost twice as much as what it is in Germany. And I have seen this firsthand because I know both of my siblings had a very hard time finding a job. It's very difficult to get a job in Alberta right now if you're not working in like the oil or gas industry. If you do anything else, then it's very difficult to find a job. And so that's another thing that I am very grateful for in Germany. So the second thing that I have really learned to love about Germany is the nature and the landscape. Like, guys, Germany has everything. I thought Canada was the only country that had like all the things in it. No, Germany's got it too. They have beaches, they have rivers, they have mountains, they have plains, and lots of rolling hills and huge forests. I read somewhere that 1/3 of Germany is still covered by forests. That's a big deal, guys. And considering how densely populated Germany is, it really shows where their attention is at. They want to preserve their landscape, and so even though it's very densely populated, they're not going to sacrifice the forests for that. So the third thing that I love about Germany is the work-life balance. And I know Germany is not the only country in Europe that has this. I think probably all the Scandinavian countries also have an exceptionally well work-life balance. What I know in Germany is that they have a lot of public holidays, and I read somewhere that Germany actually has the most public holidays in all of Europe. And it depends on which state that you're in. So Baden-Württemberg might be a little bit different than Bayern and vice versa, but in general they do have a lot of holidays. Another thing that I just kind of learned about in the last few years is that Germany has lots of health retreats, especially in the Black Forest, because they say the forest air is so good and healthy for you that they set up a lot of health retreats here. And you can get prescribed by your doctor to go to a health retreat if you're feeling overstressed and overworked, if you are feeling, what's the word? I'm losing my English, oh my goodness. If you're starting to feel burnt out from your job, if you talk to your doctor, then they can prescribe you to go to one of these health retreats. And then while you're there, because it's prescribed by your doctor, your employer will have to pay you for the days while you are there. And like that's just like not a thing in Canada. Yeah, maybe there's health retreats, but then it's like a resort spa thing. You have to pay thousands of dollars to go there, and it has nothing to do with work. And you would have to go like during your holiday time or something, you know, like you wouldn't get prescribed that by your doctor. And so I think that really shows like the focus that Germany has on health and wellness and work-life balance. As well, a huge thing is that in Germany, if you have a full-time job, you have a minimum of 24 working days, paid working days, I will say, in a year. And that's not like including the weekends, that's actual work days. So that equates to when you begin your full-time job, it's almost 5 weeks that you get of holidays. I know a lot of people in Canada who work years in a business and they still only get 2 weeks of holidays annually. That's annually. So like that is a really good thing. The fourth thing that I really love about Germany is that it really is the center of Europe. You can go anywhere in Europe from Germany. I mean, like you can go anywhere in the world from Germany too, but traveling around Europe and having your home base in Germany is really nice because you can drive to so many places, you can catch trains, and you can have really cheap flights. One of my friends, she went to, I think it was Spain with her family, and per person, I think they only paid like 10 euros for a flight to Barcelona or something. That's insane. And if you're a Canadian, you will know how expensive domestic flights are. They are ridiculously expensive. It'll be like $300 to fly from Calgary to Vancouver or something. And then also just the public transportation in all of Europe is so interconnected, and now there's even more speed trains being built in Germany, and so that just makes it even more convenient to get on a train and go to a different country or go to a different city in Germany. And number 5, what I love about Germany is the food. I will say it. And here's the catch. I think the diversity of food is much better in Canada. I will say that diversity is better in Canada, but the quality of your produce I think is better in Germany. This is just my opinion. And the reason is that in Canada, a lot of the food is flown in, whereas so much of the food in Germany is produced in Germany. And if it's not produced in Germany, then it will be produced in one of the neighboring countries and it will be trucked. And the other thing that's great about food in Germany is that if you live in a village, there will always be a local farmer that will just like sell potatoes and onions and like very basic produce, like maybe some eggs. I love that. And even in my in-laws village, there are a few different farmers, and you just kind of go to their house and they'll have bags of potatoes or apples or something, and you just put your coins in a little box and you can take it, and that's great. Another one, it's like a vending machine where you can get your eggs, so you can go any time of the day, any day, and you can get fresh eggs from the farmer, from their little farmer's vending machine. That's so cool. So for that, you really can't beat the freshness when you're buying it directly from the farmer. And it just, you know, it's just local, it supports the local economy, and you know, it's better for the environment anyways to buy more locally because there's a lower carbon footprint of these produce items because they don't have to get shipped in from other places. So that is my video for you guys this week, and please just remember that all this stuff is just my experiences, my opinions. I know that my experience is different from other people's experience, and I'm not sour about Canada or about Germany. I will happily live in Germany, but I could also happily live in Canada because Canada is my home, my family's there, and I love Canada, and I'm also learning to love Germany as well. So just keep that in mind. And so if you guys want to see more videos like this, then be sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!